great hump day. For me, it's excellent because this is my last day of the week. So into a 4-day weekend. Looking forward to having a little bit of fun. And if this is the first time to the channel, welcome. Hopefully you like what you see. If you so, hit that subscribe button so you can catch more action here. Hit that bell so you will be alerted. So tonight, I'm going to start off here. I'm going to drink an IPA. This is Wheeze the Juice. Not sure what it's supposed to be going for there, but Wheeze the Juice from Champion Brewing Company. This one comes in with an ABV of 6.4%, 54 IBU. On the can it says Wheeze the Juice is a juicy IPA double dry hop from Max Flavor with Mandarina Bavaria, El Dorado, and Cascade hops. So there you go. So we have an extra hop flavor. And of course, they do have a date on the bottom. Always good to have a date on the bottom of your stuff so people know how fresh the beer is, especially when it is an IPA. So a round of hands to them for doing that there as well. So Champion, let's see where they're out of here. I had not heard of them, and I happened to just see this one on the shelf at the, all right, enough with the applause. Seen this one on the shelf there when I picked up some beer last weekend. Charlottesville, Virginia. So anybody in the Virginia area, you guys are probably familiar with this one down there. Let's get this baby into a glass and check it out. And if you are drinking something tonight, let me know by putting a comment in the comment section. What is going on, Bounty? What is happening, Bourbon, my friend? Nobody's here yet. I mean, I decided to just throw it out there and do a chat tonight real quick here. I'll probably go over to what the ABV over in Beer Chugs at some point, but felt like cracking the beer open since it is a 4-day weekend for me. And hopefully you're doing well, Bourbon. Hopefully things are going smoothly for you. Beer Hounds in the house. Cheers from the OC, California. What is going on, Beer Hounds? So you guys just got here. Here's the beer I'm actually looking at. Wheeze the Juice. It is an IPA out of Charlottesville, Virginia, Champion Brewing. 54 IBU, 6.4% ABV. Just happened to catch my eye when I was at the store and decided to pick up a 6-pack of them. Pour into the glass. Came out about just over 2 fingers. It's down to just over a finger right now on the head. Lots of carbonation action. As you can see, the bubbles streaming up to the head itself. Got a little bit of a chill haze on there, but that's your typical orange IPA color. Head is dropping down a little bit more now as well. A nice bouquet of aroma from the hops. As I mentioned earlier, this one is double dry hop, so you get the maximum flavor out of it and aroma. You definitely get a feel of citrus type notes in there. Kind of a little bit of a grapefruit, obviously. Tangerine. A little bit of a lemon type feel in there too. And the Bourbon says, all right, now that I'm here and Beer Hound reviews here, we can get popular. There you go. Beer Hound is actually knocking back Mike Hess Feather Pillow Fight Double New England IPA. Very nice. Haven't heard of that one either. Is that one of your locals out there in Cali? So this should have a juicy texture to it, it says. Let's check that out. Beer Hound says, what's up? The Bounty as well. 2 view and 2 like stream going. That's 100%. Well, there you go. On the 100. You know, it says juicy. And I've had a lot of juicy IPAs, especially from out of the East Coast. This one just doesn't really hit the juicy level that I would consider to be juicy. It's more your base IPA. I get a little bit of that, what I call baking soda type sensation. You do get the freshness of the hops. The double dry hop does come through. You get a nice scratchiness in the throat from the hops as well. You can feel a nice sensation in the cheek area. But unlike some of the juicier ones, it does have a little bit more of a drying effect, a little bit more of an astringency in play. Good carbonation, prickling on the tongue from the bubble action. But if you were to blind taste test this beer, at least if I was, I don't feel like it would come through as a juicy type IPA. It would just be like your basic IPA. Doesn't really set itself apart too much. Hey, what's going on, Emerson? A juicy lie, right? Wheeze is a no. Yeah, it's not what I would put into the juicy IPA category as much. Hey, what is up, Mike? Beer Chugs over on Twitter. He said, what up, Rajay? Get your beer on, definitely. And I'm going to try to hit your show up here in a bit. I don't know if you got room or not, Mike, so let me know if you got room over there. And I'll try to pop in for the 9 o'clock one. I know you get like overbooked nowadays because What the ABV is so popular over there on Beer Chugs channel. And if you haven't checked out Beer Chugs, make sure you check him out as well. And if you haven't checked out everybody here already, check out Emerson Reddy, check out Beer House Beer Reviews, check out Bourbon Bounty. With Bourbon, I saw you just did another whiskey video, I think a couple days ago, so I need to check that out and catch up on some stuff. I have some time now that I'm off for the next 4 days, and going to definitely catch up on some of the YouTube vids everybody is putting out, because you guys are putting out some great stuff for sure. All right, brother, well, I will definitely go at 9 o'clock then, if you got room for me. What the ABV, 9 o'clock, Beer Chugs. If you don't have the Beer Chugs channel, make sure you check out Beer Chugs as well, right there in YouTube. I know Bourbon's already hip to him. I still out on ABV. I suck at the pen. I'm a bumpy pick of the night. Bourbon says, well, it's all about the learning process, you know. It's called the bumpy pick of the night because of a bumpy I picked before, but bumpy now has the most wins. So it's a learning thing. The more you do it, you learn. Just like the whiskey, right? The more you do the whiskey, the more you learn about it. But on this beer, there's not much I can really say that makes this stand out. Your typical, so to speak, IPA. Not bad, not great. 3.5 out of 5 for me when I throw this on Untapped. I can drink it, I can enjoy it, but it's not something I would hunt down personally. Not to say they're doing a bad thing, just saying it's right there where you should be at for an IPA. Let's see. Beer House said, do I have any go-to lately? No, not really. I did finally find DeClaw Unicorn Farts that I did unboxing on, so I'm going to drink that here at some point. I might try crack one tonight over on What the ABV tonight. And the only go-to more recently is like usually in the spring. I already went through a couple of them. The Bell's Oberon. That's usually my spring thing to jump into. To me, it's just like when the spring comes on and it's ready to get out there with some good weather, a nice Oberon from Bell's always works. So that's what I usually like to enjoy each year. I did have the Lagunitas Hazy Wonder. I will say that's actually a good one too. Hasn't been like a go-to. It's the first time I've had it, but if you haven't had the Hazy Wonder, I would definitely say check that one out. But, you know, I always try so many different beers. It's hard to be like a go-to for me to always get into. Bet Bourbon said I'm the bumpy at the worst pick in the night. Well, somebody's got to be a bottom at some point. But everybody, you learn as you go along. You got to stick with it. Stick-to-itiveness. What is going on, Eric? We got Eric over on Facebook. Cheers, my friend. Off for the next 3 days. Very nice. Hey, Eric, we need to get you back on again. Let me know if you want to do another stream, and we can talk some more about Lord Hobo Brew and anything you guys have going on up there. It was great having you when we did the broadcast before, so be more than happy to get you on again and talk about other stuff that's going on out there as well. But Hazy Wonder was good. Cheer, yeah, that Hazy Wonder was decent. I like that one. They got another one out right now. What I need to go back to check out some more of that I haven't is the new Belgium Voodoo series. So now we got the 1985 Voodoo Ranger that was out. We got the American one, and we have another one too that are out. So I haven't been into a Voodoo Ranger beer in a long time, but I do like those from New Belgium as well. Bourbon said I drink lots of bourbon. Go-to is Coors Light. Well, you stay hydrated, right? You stay hydrated with the Coors Light, so not a bad chaser behind the whiskey. Drinking Lord Hobo V, our 5th anniversary brew at 10% triple A IPA. Nice. I want to see you guys get more distribution down here, because I haven't seen a lot of the Lord Hobo beers. I'm going to try to go out to a place this weekend and see if they have some more. But I would love to see some more of that stuff down here. Yeah, it'd definitely be a blast to get you back on again. We had a great time that night, and I think, having a brewer on here, people can ask questions. I think a lot of people enjoy that as well. We got Smoking Ninja in the house, or as I call him, Little Seth. Little Seth is in the house. What is going on, brother? He's at Rajay. Bourbon said, that's right. Got to stay hydrated. The Voodoo Hazy is pretty damn good, man. Okay, well, I definitely... I should just go to my Kroger this weekend and do a mixed 6-pack, because they usually put those out in singles, and you can mix up 3 or 4 of them real easy. We got Coach in the house. Cheers, Coach. What is going on? It's been a while, my friend. Hopefully you are having a great week as you head toward the holiday here at the end of the week. Anybody got any plans for the weekend? Is anybody doing anything out there, by the way? It's kind of like... states are shutting stuff back down right around the 4th, so I'm kind of curious what's going to happen. And some people are talking about they're going to still go ahead and do things. Saw a story today in Alabama, as a matter of fact, where in Alabama, students are having like these corona parties, and they're basically doing these money pots to see who gets corona. People put money in, and whoever gets it first ends up getting the money or whatever. I don't know. These are the same generation. I think they ate the Tide Pods too. So put that with it. I don't know. It's the younger generation. I'm not feeling like I'm going to be in safe hands if I'm ever in a nursing home down the line with the things that the younger generations do. Plan is not to get COVID. That's a very good plan. Very good plan, my friend. We are actually in one of the states now that is steady, and that's Kentucky and Ohio. They've actually started seeing a slight increase. All across the South and going out west, they've been seeing increases. I think there was only 2 that were decreasing, and I want to say it was New Jersey, which I'm happy about because my mom's in New Jersey. And I think the other one might have been Vermont. I think New York is now back to a steady state, so it's kind of crazy. What is going on, John Sharon? It's been a while, my friend. Good to see you. Cheers. He said, yeah, crazy. It is crazy with all the stuff that's definitely happening out there. It's 2020 is a year, and today's only July 1st. So saw an article today about some snakes that can actually fly now, which was interesting. I'm like, why not? It's 2020. Why not have flying snakes that can leap into the air now and come after you? That'll make great for camping trips. It's freaking every month there's something new that pops up. Like, when have you ever seen like a sandstorm come across like a different Sahara through the southeast this past week? That's some straight out of the Mummy type stuff there. It's crazy. 2020 is definitely a jokester. It's the year to put behind us for sure. But we're halfway there now. 6 more months. But who knows what the next 6 are going to be happening too, because the first 6 were rough. You may not be safe, but think of how fresh air breathe will be in the story of your life. Last half. Oh, there you go. How fresh, yeah. Yeah, it's interesting as we head towards the second half of the year, and of course it's an election year, so that could even make it even more crazy by the time we get to November. So I don't know. I always said I wanted a beer island. I think more and more that beer island would come in handy right now just to escape all the mess. At this point, your best place to probably go vacation is just get a cabin in the woods away from people, just because you don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if the CDC actually passed that out there. I don't know who that benefits. Yeah, John, I see that down there. John Sharon's actually over on Facebook, and he may mention Louisville is blowing up, and John is 70 or 80 miles from me down in the Louisville area, and they have so many things that are happening down there, from the COVID, from the Breonna Taylor situation, from other stuff, that Louisville's right there on edge. And what I did see out of Louisville, and actually Todd had told me this, John, is the main brewery for Against the Grain, which is at the ballpark in Louisville, they decided to close their doors now until they get the Corona stuff handled, and they're going to just focus on their other one they have, which is a smaller brewery and distribution for this point. But things are getting crazy. Some places are closing stuff down. I just did those Spellbound beers. I was talking to my friend from New Jersey and asking him how you're doing up there. And he said they got like outside dining, but everything else is like takeout or curbside pickup. You order it in, they put it in your car. They just were about to start delivery service, but they can't have anybody inside for the brewery either. Yeah, it's that whole Louisville thing is just it's going to be crazy. And I saw they were like other police officers and stuff. It's a mess down there right now. They posted about alternative sexual contact. Look it up. But why would a glory hole be a good idea for them? No, is what I don't understand. Like, why would that be something like that? I can see if they said alternative and go get a doll or something like that where you're not touching someone else. I mean, glory hole just doesn't sound right. They said using walls can decrease the probability of contacting the virus. Yeah, but you're putting something through that hole. I don't see how that's going to help. I just don't see it. Maybe they didn't. Maybe they missed that part or weren't thinking about that or something. It seems like there's still a chance of spreading some germs there. Yeah, I saw the lieutenant governor in Texas said he's not listening to Fauci anymore. He thinks Fauci doesn't know what he's doing. Okay, I mean, he's like the top germ person in the country, but, you know, maybe you know more. I don't know. Maybe you know more. It's kind of interesting. And Texas has their own issues. Oh, you were identifying which virus there, Bourbon? I was assuming it was Cove, but there's another one you could be worried about too. But I don't know if anybody else had this one out there. Again, this is out of Charlottesville, Virginia, from Champion Brewing, Wheeze the Juice. If you had it, let me know what you think of it. Or, you know, are there other beers you're drinking right now and things that you're in tune with? Let me know what you're drinking out there. Other stuff I might want to check out as well. COVID spreads readily through breathing. Yeah, but if you put your mouth on something, wouldn't you be breathing on the other body part? So, again, wouldn't you be spreading it if you're doing the glory hole thing? I'm just saying. Maybe they thought you would use it for something different. Should be called lion liquid. It's just, you know, it's not the idea of it being a juicy IPA. For me, it's just not there. It's just if you'd have just said a regular IPA, I'd be like, okay, it's right where it's supposed to be. But I don't get the juiciness coming through. Eric said, Mass is doing okay, but we were watching the rest of the country as they're slowly opening up with beer gardens and tap rooms. Yeah. And like some states, like New Jersey, New York, I think Connecticut, they're calling for 14-day periods if people come in from some of the hot states. They want them to self-quarantine. I don't know how you can enforce that. The Bourbon says, but it's not through the same cavity. So, I don't know. You put something through a hole, you might have some other issues to worry about too, though. Oh, man. That's funny. That's funny, though, if it was a recommendation by those guys. Yeah, here in Kentucky, we had some restaurants and stuff open. Like I said, now they're starting to scale back a little bit. I think restaurants are still 50%, but bars, breweries, they're less than that, or they're only outside or something. So the thing is, like they were talking about why restaurants can do it, why breweries can. I guess the concern is with alcohol, that people get a little bit more comfortable. They'll start taking their mask down. They get a little more social, and I guess it creates a different environment. But at restaurants, a lot of them, you're still getting alcohol, right? So I guess you can still have the same thing take place there. At this point now, I just say wear a mask. Because I just think wearing a mask is just a way of not being a selfish person as well. So, I mean, people have their different beliefs whether to wear a mask or not wear a mask. I think you should wear a mask just because you don't wear a mask and you give it to someone, they go home and they kill one of their older people or something like that happens. Nobody wants to be that person, right? I even saw a story today earlier. It was a mother that had 2 kids. They had to leave in the hospital, and she had to come there to see him and get all screened down because they were afraid of babies. I think they had something going on health-wise that if they were around anybody with COVID, they could kill them. So, the mother couldn't even take the kids home because of the concerns out there. So, I think at a point, it's just a courteous thing. I think when people say, well, they can't wear it because if you got a health reason, I guess that's one thing where you can't wear it. But some people are just saying they can't breathe. It's like, really? Like, people wear masks all day long, Surgeons, workers that are doing, like, painting or whatever it may be, military people. It's like, really? Like, a mask isn't going to really throw you off that much. I don't know. That's my opinion on it, but that's just where I'm at. But the people that are going crazy going to stores because they can't get in with the mask, like, don't go to that store then. You're not, it's like the government's doing anything to you. The store has a right to say with that, as long as they're not discriminating who they're doing it with. Everybody has to wear a mask. Everybody has to wear a mask. So, anyway, get away from that subject. So, what is anybody else drinking out there? If you are indulging, or what are tell me guys, what are some of your favorite beers here that you like for the summer? Are there any go-to beers that you guys like to pick up around this time, or certain styles? Like, I know when it heats up, I like to enjoy Gozes in the warmer weather like now. Hefeweizens are always good. I enjoy drinking some of those at this time of year. But what do you guys like to enjoy out there? Ever since I wear a full face motorcycle helmet, no one says anything to me, but there you go. Yeah, whatever it takes, man, whatever it takes. Oh. Which reminds me, I do need to pick up some Gozes. So I've not had some of those in a while. I was going to get the Sea Quench Ale last week from Dogfish Head, and I forgot to pick it up, but that's a nice one for summer. What is going on? Blake's in the house. Blake TV. Cheers, Rod, and everyone, he says. What is happening, brother? Just kind of decided to kick it for a bit here before I go over to Beer Chugs at the top of the hour at 9 o'clock. Y'all know Blake TV. Make sure you check out Blake TV as well. The Friday night throwdowns are being lit over there, so we have a blast doing Friday night throwdown on Blake's channel. Good time, good fun. Everybody has a good laugh, so make sure you guys pick him up as well. Which reminds me, are you doing a Friday night throwdown this Friday, Blake, by the way, since it's the night before the 4th or whatever? I don't know if you decided or not. I guess because it's the 3rd, you could probably do it because it's not really the holiday yet. He says, I hope I win tonight if I don't. Yeah. Well, sooner or later, you get those 7.5s to hit, right? Keep going with the 7.5. Shout out to Tyler Page. Appreciate you with the new subscription to the channel. Thanks, my friend. Appreciate you signing on, and hopefully you are enjoying some good brew or kicking back a little bit tonight as well. So definitely appreciate that, sir. Drinking, Buena Vesa by Stone. I have not seen that one yet. I have to check that one out. So is that a IPA? Is it a, what kind of style is that one? Gonna pour another Wheeze the juice. And hello to Vanessa, also in the house. Cheers to you, for Vanessa, for making it over. Hopefully you're having a good Wednesday night. Ooh, salt and lime lager. Okay. See, something like that is nice for the summertime as well. Like an amped up Corona. Good Corona, not the bad Corona. No, see, something like that with the heat. Like right now today, we're like 90 degrees, and that would be something I can kick back if I was sitting outside or something and I wanted something refreshing. That would come into play. Very nice. I'll have to check that one out at some point too, because it's going to be a hot summer, I believe. I know this weekend's going to be really hot. We're supposed to be like maybe mid-90s through the holiday this weekend, which will be kind of crazy. I wanted to actually do this tonight outside while I smoked a cigar, but at 90 degrees, I wasn't going to be able to do that. That just was too hot. There's more of another look at it now. This one doesn't have as much as chill haze, but you see all the bubble carbonation in play. Good carbonation on the beer. Like I said, I'm not hating it. It's just not the juicy IPA that I expected it to be. You lied to me, Wheeze the Juice. You lied to me. So Vanessa, you enjoying anything tonight as well? I know it's getting a little hot for the stouts, but I know you like your stouts as well. So I know if you were enjoying anything. And make sure if you don't know everybody in the chat there to connect with everyone too. Check out some great stuff happening on the channels. Got some great people here, and everybody's kind of doing their thing. Reston just got home. Okay, feet up, head back, just kick back, chilling. Nothing wrong with that. How's the outside and stuff going? I need to go back and check out more of your Instagram to see some of the updates. Although I did see the one. I'm trying to think what it was last week you were telling us about there. But Vanessa does everything. For those of you that don't know Vanessa, she does a lot of great stuff. Her backyard is like the process of being like the best backyard ever, with pretty much everything you can want out there. Leo in the house. What is going on, Leo? This is live, my friend. Pressure washer and fans to stain it after. There you go. Vanessa is awesome, Blake. She is awesome. Like I tell people, if shit ever got too bad, all we gotta do is make it to Vanessa's house, and Vanessa will get us through the survival. Cheers, Leo, and just kind of kicking it tonight, drinking a little beer, seeing what everybody's up to here on this hump day as we head into the weekend. Well, for me, the weekend is pretty much started because I have a 4-day weekend, no work tomorrow. Man, today was like the longest day, too. Like, you have those days at work when you know you're not working the next day, and it's like you're just kind of counting it down, waiting to get to the end of the day, and it takes forever. And Vanessa just a dime old math teacher. No. I mean, I know you're a superhero. You can't give away your superhero, identity, but no, you're definitely more than just a math teacher. The horseshoe court is finished. They got the horseshoe court back there. You got everything happening in the back. I mean, really, that's just like a campsite. Now you just go back there and camp out at Vanessa's house and be happy. I actually work with sales, is what I kind of do for a living, Leo. And Vanessa, oops, simple. It must have hit you with the word thing or whatever. Web developer, but I used to be a medical physicist. Oh, wow, in an oncology hospital. Wow, man, that got you into some stuff. I'm actually what they call a financial wholesaler. So I work with financial advisors on choosing investments for their clients, so to speak, that we offer them. Had to have this long conversation about where the hell we would go on vacation. Yeah, that's the problem. Usually around this time of year, well, usually before even here, would have been like a month ago. The last few years, we would go like to the Caribbean or somewhere out of the country, which I still haven't got my passport. It's been like, I sent it in March. By the way, if you guys are renewing passports, they're taking forever right now. So, but usually we would go out of the country somewhere, and we couldn't do it this year. So I think we're going to probably do something like a cabin getaway, where we can actually just go somewhere, chill at the cabin, hot tub. Like we go to Tennessee, a little bit of moonshine, kicking back, away from people, and kind of just relaxing there, possibly. Enjoy my job, or would you rather stream for a living? Honestly, well, I used to be back in the day a DJ on the radio as well, Leo. I mean, obviously, if I was big enough, if I could just stream and do shows and stuff, I would kind of like that. My degree is actually in journalism, so I've done broadcasts and stuff like that before. But I enjoy what I do. I have fun doing the job. It's definitely it allows me to do this kind of stuff, and it's not like it's a back-breaking type thing. It's kind of like I do that thing, I handle it, and I have time to do other stuff I like to do. Berman said, Leo, I am a compliance guy that gives web developers hell on wheels. We were just talking about a cabin in the woods too. Yeah, I mean, a cabin is perfect. You know, where I'm at here, people will go down to like Gatlinburg, or they'll go like to Lake Cumberland, or in Ohio, Hocking Hills, or up in Michigan. So we have a lot of cabin sites that you can actually choose from. I'd rather go somewhere more towards the fall because it's kind of nice to get that nice cool breeze when you're in the cabin, especially when you get a hot tub and all that kind of stuff. But you know, it might be a little summer getaway. If we don't go to New Jersey next month, then it might be something where we actually do something like a cabin trip that week. But I still got the days. I got to use the days or I lose the days. I don't like to lose anything. Vanessa has got a S-wing small handle wood split and sledge for kindling. Sledge one side and split an edge on opposite is like the 3-pound sledge with the cutting edge. Oh, nice. And you're still going to try to do the forge, I think, out there, right, Vanessa, I believe? If the developers aren't producing complaint output in the first place, then I blame the CEO of the agencies at the very least. Not hard to set constraints on what standards you expect of your developers. Yeah. That's the idea of, you know, set the standards so they can achieve it. Nothing's worse than working in a company where they don't have any standards or any guideline or idea where they actually want to end up or get to. Have 144 hours to use and still have 120 left on personal time off. Wow. Wait a minute. So you have over 200 something hours you can use? Or is that 120 part of the 144? I'm at like just over 100 something hours. Day wise, each year I have like 35 days I can use, and this year so far I've only used like 5.5. Oh, over 400. Jeez. You need to go on a sabbatical, son. Go to Europe for like a month or something. Well, I can't fly right now with the COVID stuff, I guess. I mean, you could, but I wouldn't want to fly right now. So 300, okay. Ask a more serious question if you don't mind, and I don't know who to reach out to about it. What kind of serious question is it? Well, I was gonna say, yeah, the math. It was like 364 there. So, no, it was no. Wait a minute, you got 200 something, like 284, 264. I only had 2 beers. You think I could do math a lot easier? Oh man, what time is it? 8:31. So I got like 20 something minutes to get to Chugs. Are you worried about climate change? I feel silly even saying it out loud. I keep reading about it and it seems like it might be a serious thing. What can I do about it? I feel so helpless. Yeah, Vanessa, math is everywhere for sure. Yeah, I'm am I worried about it? It doesn't keep me up at night, but I think there are definitely some concerns that are out there. If I was the younger generation, I would be more worried about it than now based on some of the trends that we're seeing. There was a thing like 2 weeks ago, like Antarctica hit like this highest temperature or something, like 108 or something. Some people think it's just going through phases, but there's a lot of stuff happening out there. And when you see these weird weather patterns, to give you an example, like I'm from New Jersey originally. I live in Cincinnati area now. Like they have tornadoes up there. Like there used to never be tornadoes up in like New Jersey. It never got to a point where tornadoes would be able to build that. That's more common each year. You also have things like shark sightings off the coast of New Jersey from friends that are up there as well, which you really never had that because the water wasn't warm enough for sharks to get up that far. And if you look down in the Carolinas, you have more sharks that are even coming in closer to land now because of the warmth of everything. You look at patterns of animals and things that are happening and some of the ones that are dying off because of temperature changes. There's just a lot of stuff out there that brings up concerns of what we're possibly doing here. And you take the COVID, when you look at some of the satellite maps of what it was before the COVID and how 2 or 3 weeks of people not being out in the environment after the COVID hit and the changes that were taking place, it raises a lot of questions. It's it's something out there, I believe, for sure. So I don't know what you can do about it. I mean, the only thing you do about it is try to be maybe a better global citizen, right? You try to not litter. You don't throw shit in the ocean and stuff like that. Like they throw trash and like the 6-pack rings or whatever. People would throw those in the ocean at their beach, and it like strangles and kills animals and stuff. So you just got to be more conscious of what you're doing, I guess. Try to, I guess, recycle if you can. Do stuff like that. Everybody has to be responsible for themselves, take some responsibility if you're going to make it ultimately a better world. So, Bourbon said no, and I am a math major, but it's like 310. Oh, it's 310. So it wasn't just the 144 and the 120. There's some other hours out there then. Craig's in the house. What's going on, Craig? Camp Beer Reviews. Cheers, my friend. Another great channel to check out if you're into beer. Craig is over there in the UK and does some great beer reviews as well. So check out Kent Beer Reviews. I'm sure you'll be pleased. I know you'll be pleased with what he does. Vanessa, eat plenty of beans, Leo. The farts will help you stay warm. Well, I don't know if Leo wants to stay warm because he's worried about the warmth as it is. The scientists are predicting terrible things. It's too late to say things for my children and grandchildren. What if they have nowhere to live and I don't do anything to help them? Well, I mean, if you're like, I mean, you can volunteer to do stuff. You can read and spread the word. You know, the big thing is communication, I think. So if you're looking at it and you're having conversation with other people, and if that influences other people to maybe do something different, then you've won. So you've done something. You've helped to change someone else's view of what's taking place. So doing things like that, being involved, spreading the word, find research, sharing that with people. And, you know, change takes a person at a time. So if you change a person and they change someone else, that's how the ball gets rolling. I mean, it's kind of like there's always been concerns about, you know, how bad or how we're treating the earth, I guess, so to speak. It's kind of weird just like thinking about past civilizations and how some were more in tune or in balance with the world than other generations were, right? Like, for instance, you look at, you know, we have Independence Day and everything, like the formative American. You look at how Native Americans were so in balance with the ecological part of the land, you know. If they killed an animal, they killed an animal for everything, right? From the fur to the meat to whatever. They didn't waste anything, and, you know, it was all together versus how we do stuff out there. We make people go hunting and they shoot something just to shoot it or whatever. They don't even do anything with it. So you got to find that balance with the earth. I always believe, like, if you're out of balance, the earth's going to come back and do something about that as well. You know, volcanoes, whatever it may be, some of the flooding we're seeing. Look at how heavy or more intense the hurricanes are coming right now that we see, or the tornadoes that are taking place. They're expecting this year to be one of the strongest hurricane seasons that we've actually seen, by the way. So they're expecting like 5 or 6 major category 4 and 5 hurricanes to hit this year. That doesn't happen just by chance, I don't think. I think that's just some of the stuff that we're actually doing with the environment. Remember the 90s when we were worried about, then we partied. We did party in the 90s, and that's when Al Gore invented the internet, right? That's when Al Gore brought us the internet at that point. But yeah, I mean, there's always concerns. There's always fear of the unknown as well. People always have a fear of the unknown, and I think that goes to a fear of mortality that we may have as well. So not knowing what's going to be that next step, what's going to be that next thing out there we're going to run into, that makes us kind of, you know, worried about stuff like that for the future as well. Bourbon says Vanessa has all the answers. Yeah, Vanessa has a lot of them for sure. Overall temp of the Earth is increasing. Eventually, the Earth temp will be too high. Yeah, that's a concern a lot of people have. There's some scientists, and when you're doing some of the research out there, that are kind of really on the lookout to see what other planets may be out there in case something were to happen to this one. I don't know if that's just kind of a fear or of a genuine concern, but there was an article that just came out saying there was one planet they found that looks like that would be able to sustain life as well. They're trying to look at these ships to send out, although they keep wanting to go to Mars. Like, they're looking at maybe trying to colonize Mars for some reason, but there's other planets that I'm sure that are out there. We just can't get there yet. We don't have technology. So I don't know. every day, just, every day you get up, that's a blessing in itself, right? So any day you're not 6 feet under, take that day and enjoy it, because you never know when it could be the last day. That says you wish you had all the answers. Nina's in the house. What is going on, Compost? Yeah, Compost is a big help for dealing with this. And make sure you guys check out Nina Yordi. I don't know if many of you have checked out Nina Yordi, but she's doing the beer stuff too. And I actually met her over on Beer Chug's channel, where she does What the ABV as well. But make sure you check her out. She's throwing down some beers too. Bounty said, with global warming, it would take a bipartisan effort, eliminate politics, and have everyone on board. And that's a problem in itself, right? So getting the bipartisan anything nowadays, and the only way you're going to get a bipartisan or something like that probably is if it's like, what was it, like Armageddon or the Morgan Freeman movie, when it's like something that's coming towards the earth, and then they realize, oh, we need to work together. So there's got to be something like devastating that's going to happen, it seems, before they would ever work bipartisan. I read the flying contributes something like 10% of the global effect of man-made climate change. I can't fly anymore, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff with the when you fly, you're putting stuff in the air, but there's also some other stuff that gets put in the air as well, from different things too. It's kind of like some of that stuff's going to get in the air anyway, but if you can limit things down, then that helps. We're in a process now in the automobile industry. There's that push, and it used to be back in the 90s. We were actually back then almost there with the almost as the eclectic, the electric, because the eclectic does so many electric cars. I almost plugged his name in there. But like Saturn came out with electric cars, and there's a great documentary called Who Killed the Electric Car? And basically they got buried on the car because the oil companies saw what the issue was going to be and how they were going to lose out. And they made them go out there and collect all these electric cars that were out there. And one of the guys was Ed Begley, who was an old actor. I think he still does some acting. But he had one. He went to find out. He went and turned his car in, but they made him finally give it up. He went to find out what they were doing with them. And they were just taking them out to sites and just demolishing them. So there would be no evidence of them having these cars that were out there. So we could have been 20 plus years ago switched over to the electric car and been in a better situation. So, we have to fight not just the bipartisanship, but also the capitalist side of things to be able to get to that point where we can actually do it better as a community. Aluminum cans seem more recyclable than glass. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are liking the aluminum for sure. I don't know what the differences between them are. I know for the cans, some companies have come out with biodegradable holders for the cans as well, so that's also a plus there too. Nina said, cheers to Bounty. Miscellaneous in the house. What is going on, Magnus? Cheers, my friend. Y'all make sure to check out Miscellaneous as well. Another good cat that joins us here on the chats. And I read that the meat industry is devastating to the environment. Can I look my kids in the eye and say that I did everything I could and still buy meat? I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you, I've had friends that have went vegan or went vegetarian because of things they learned about the meat industry. I still enjoy meat there. It's kind of like a personal choice on what people can actually do in that regard. I think you got to decide if that's something you want to still do. I will tell you, I've had like that Impossible Burger. I've done that versus the regular Whopper at Burger King. And Impossible Whopper was just as good as that one too. But at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know. The thing is, if you didn't also have some of the animals slaughtered, you would have an overproduction of animals, which animals can actually add to the environment as well too. So in a way, you do have to do those type of things to curtail that situation. Vanessa, I've killed a few animals. Take what you harvest or don't take. Exactly. That's the key. Go ahead, take what you're going to take, use it all. That's why I said, like you see, like the guy that runs Jimmy John's, he goes over and does hunting for certain animals that are kind of trophy animals, or Donald Trump Jr. does it too, and I know there's other people that do it out there as well, but I'm just thinking more recently they were talking about that, and they're just doing big game hunting just to do big game hunting. It's kind of like, I don't think you're really helping anything out now. I think you should be respectful of that organization. Like if somebody goes out, like Vanessa, and she hunts deer or she hunts moose, hunts elk, fish. It's like whatever it is, she's using all of it. That's how it should be. Excuse me. It would probably be better without us. Yeah, at some point the Earth probably would be better without us. You always think back to the scene from the first Matrix where Smith is interrogating Morpheus, and he tells him how he doesn't like humans, and basically gives a breakdown where humans are basically a virus. It's a pretty poignant scene in the movie, but when you think about it, we do tear up a lot of the stuff we come across, right? So versus other animals that find a balance with nature, we kind of tear up a lot of stuff. So I always love that scene from the movie. Radiation on those other planets almost like fry us. Human bacon for a past alien. Well, aliens like bacon too. Yeah, I mean, you'd have to have like, what was that Arnold Schwarzenegger movie when he was on Mars? Total Recall. You definitely have to have a function facility to hold people, but they want to get people up there and try to start colonizing it. I'm like, I don't know. Al Gore, biggest fraud of all time. I remember him saying that there would be no Arctic Sea by 2012. Wrong. Yeah, he didn't make that one. That was bigger than a Nostradamus missile now, probably. But you know, it is definitely shrinking, but not to the way that he said it was as well. Electric cars came out very early from the time we were studying electric motors. Yeah. Bye, Leo. Have a lovely day. Trolls just need the sunshine. Oh, did Leo took off? I didn't see him leave there. Yeah. So let me see. I'm pushing all my chips in on the aliens. Yes, they do butt stuff to us on the outside. I bet they clean the environment though. Yeah, I bet they pick up after they have a picnic. They probably pick up after themselves, which is a great thing. Be kind and take your stuff home, right? Or throw it in the trash can. Oh, man. Well, I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap down because I'm going to go get a couple more beers to get ready for beer chugs tonight. If you guys don't have beer chugs, make sure you check out... Leo was booted by me. See his last comment. I didn't see the last one there. My thing just shows message deleted, so I don't know what happened, but okay. Hey, Vanessa, if you did that, that's fine. You know, you got the power, girl. So I trust your judgment. Like I said, I don't know what was there. Blake's a great show, Rod. Cheers, everyone. Yeah. So if you guys don't have beer chugs, make sure you check out Beer Chugs. We're gonna go over there and do what the ABV, and so we'll be pulling that up and having a good time guessing the ABV of beers. And probably by the end of the night, some of us will probably be drunk. Who knows? We always have a good blast, though. But thanks for jumping on, everybody. And I will look forward to, I guess, kind of give the comments now. Blake said he hit the last comment, too. So, cheers, Rod. See you tomorrow if you're on. Yeah, definitely tomorrow night. As a matter of fact, Emerson, tomorrow is Thursday, which means the Beer Flow Show. So, Beer Flow Show is at 9:15 Eastern. Myself, Todd, and Eric will be talking some beer, sharing some beer, breaking down some things around the beer industry, and whatever else we can do. And if we get Shannon on there, well, you just know it'll be a fun ride for sure. So 9:15 Eastern tomorrow. Thanks everybody that tuned in. I will look forward to talking to you guys soon. Keep drinking those good craft beers. And remember, there's always time. Get your beer on.